and they rush into the room. Let's see what our contents are. 6. Once again, we have more vermin. A 3. 2d6 goblin swarmlings. Now they're going to be surprised. On a 1, they're going to flee. On a 2 to a 3, they'll flee if they're outnumbered. On a 4, they'll demand a bribe. And on a 5 to 6, they'll fight. So let's see how many there are. There are 12 of them. Yikes. Hey War Gamers, welcome back. Purple Druid here. And today we are resuming our dungeon delve. This time our Druid Quest project will continue with 4 Against Darkness. We started with Kal Arath. We started this dungeon delve with the dungeon board game. And now we're going to continue with more solo gaming goodness. Now, just as a quick recap, our group of adventurers began here in High Fork and made a couple trips into the mountainous area here. And after meeting a historian named Morpan, they have traveled down into this mountain hex here. And made their way all the way here to the tomb of Gamsar. And in the previous episode, we explored via the dungeon board game this area here. We had a couple of battles with hobgoblins and we discovered some scrolls. Now the hobgoblins gave us a run for our money. And after the second encounter with 6 hobgoblins, the party decided to beat feet and go recover. So that was on the 14th of June, according to our in-game calendar. And it took them 3 days of rest, which brings us to the 18th of June, when we are going to resume our delve. Now, in order to do this, we are going to come back into the dungeon here and go ahead and explore down this staircase just to see where that goes. Morpan has a feeling about that particular staircase, and so we're going to go ahead and start our dungeon delve right here. And we have our dice. We have our augury dice. We have a bunch of 6-siders, a couple of 10s, and a 20. We will be rolling mostly 6-sideds for this. 4 Against Darkness uses a D66 table to generate the dungeon, as well as D6 tables for the various monsters, etc. We'll also be doing some dungeon dressing. I have the table here from Perplexing Ruins for dungeon dressing. It's part of his random dungeon generation tool. And then I've also made a list of mundane items and furniture that we may find in the dungeon. And just as an aside, this is actually the second time I tried this, because the first time we had a technical issue. And so I really do need to get an actual camera for doing this and not just my stupid phone. But in any case, just a quick reminder, we will be using the augury dice borrowed from Tales of Argosa. We also have an encounter/activity/hazard die, again borrowed from Tales of Argosa. And then I have made a die six-sided. 3 sides are blank. 1 has a keyhole, and 2 have doors. And this will be the die that will determine whether a door that we encounter is simply jammed or locked, or if it's blank, it means we can just open it without any issue. In order to open any doors, we will need to roll a 1 or a 2 on a d6. For one person, if 2 people help, they can do it on a 1, 2, or 3. And if they fail to open a door on the first attempt, they will not be able to surprise any creatures on the other side, and the creatures on the other side will get to attack first, provided they make what we call a reaction roll. All the monsters in 4 Against Darkness have reaction rolls. And if we look here, what do we got here? Our vermin table. 3d6 rats, they're level 1, they have no treasure. If a character is wounded, there's a 1 in 6 chance of losing a life due to an infected wound. But when you first meet those rats, you roll a d6. On a 1 to a 3, they flee, and on a 4 to 6, they fight. So we'll apply the reaction roll first, and then we will handle the combat. Combat will be simultaneous, as I mentioned, except for that first round, based on how they're able to go through the various doors. So, first of all, our group, where's my pencil? Our group is going to enter here and find themselves in the entryway. Now, there is some graffiti left by Morpan, beware hobgoblins, just for anybody who comes along after. And there are 2 candle stubs and some singing flies in this area. So we're going to go ahead and make our way over here, but I am going to roll for wandering monsters, and we need a 6. On a 6, there will be a wandering monster, so we don't have any. And so we will descend the stairs. And what do we find? Well, we're going to roll our d66. The black die will be the first die. 36. 36 gives us this arrangement here. And there's a door. So let's go ahead and make our way down to the bottom of the stairs. We'll add a little short hallway. I am going to dress this up, and I'll make this available on the Substack after the video is posted. So let's go ahead and draw this out. We have doors. All right. Now, when we get to the bottom, we're going to listen and see if we can hear anything. No, we do not hear anything. So we don't know if there's anything on the other side of that door or not. So we're going to roll. That door is locked. All right. So 4 Against Darkness does have rules for locked doors. We can bash it down or use a rogue to lockpick the door. We don't have a rogue with a lockpick. So we're going to have to roll a die. On a 1, 2, or 3, the door is level 3. On a 4, 5, or 6, the door is a higher level. So let's see. It is a level 5 lock. So they'll have to roll a 6 in order to break the door down. And that's 1 attempt. I'm going to put number 1 here. 1, door is locked. That's a 2. That's a 3. And that's a 4. They get a 5. And they are really having a lot of trouble with this door. And that's a 2. And you know what? We're going to call that a 6. I know it was cocked, but I'm getting tired of rolling. So we're going to break into this room. First of all, we need to find out what is in this room. So we're going to roll on the dungeon and room building table. That is a 6. in a room. We're going to roll a d6 on the vermin table. And our vermin table is right here. A 1, 3d6 rats. Now, the rats obviously have heard the banging, and let's go ahead and see what their reaction is. It's a 5. They're going to stay and fight. So, as our friends are coming through the door, they're being attacked by the rats. 3d6 rats, that's a lot. Now, they do need to make a morale check if half of them become casualties. And we've got 7. All right, that's not too bad. 7 we can manage. Now, for our combat, we're going to go ahead and use the tray again with our little ghouls here. And we just need 7 of them. And so the way the rules read, each party member is attacked by 1 creature right off the bat, and then in successive rounds, then the additional attacks are divided randomly amongst the party members. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 rats, level 1, who will be attacking. Our party members will need to roll their defense, and we'll start with Morpan, who has a standard defense, so he needs to roll a 2+. Nope. He's going to take a wound. And now Brundax, another 1. Oh boy. And now we have Lorgan, who also rolls a 1. Wow, that's 3 1s in a row. And finally, Dot Raff. Actually, I got this backwards, but that's all right. 5. No. Dot Raff does not take a wound. Oh boy. All right. So now we're going to go back and we're going to randomly determine who these other creatures attack. Let's see here. I know I have a d8 somewhere. It's not handy. All right, so this one, all right, I'll tell you what, this one, 1 to 3, 4 to 6. All right, so he's going to attack there. This one here, 1 to 3, 4 to 6. All right, so all 3 of these are going to attack Brundax. And this one, 1 to 3, 4 to 6. All right, so 2 on Dot Raff. All right. Morpan attacks. He's got a -1 for his dagger. It's a level 1 creature, so he's going to need to roll a 2 or better. He gets a 4, and he's going to kill 4 rats. Because they're level 1, they each take 1 hit because they're vermin. So that's going to take out 1, 2, 3, 4 rats. Now, Lorgan will get to go. Lorgan has +1 to his attack roll. That's a 2. Level 1 creature. He's going to kill 2 of them. And finally, Dot Raff will be attacking, and she has no bonuses, so she's just going to need a 2. She gets a 4, and that will kill the final rat. All right, they have no treasure, and any character wounded has a 1 in 6 chance of losing 1 additional life due to infected wounds. So we're going to roll for Lorgan on a 1. Nope. We're going to roll for Morpan. Nope. And Brundax. Nope. All right. So there we are. We have cleared the room. Let us check our dressing. We have a 15. There's going to be some oil on the floor. Let's get this out of the way. All right, so we had 7 rats. They were all killed. No disease. There is oil on the floor. 5 and 6. There is a glowing tree. Interesting. And 6 black and blue. Red. How do I do this? Blue and red. Red and black. 6 and 1. Hovering flame. So we have a glowing tree and a hovering flame. So the glowing tree how very interesting. Let's see if any of these things are magical. First, let's see if it's our oil. No. The tree. No. And the hovering flame, obviously the hovering flame is magical. Is it something that a wizard can recover? Well, even though the tiebreaker says yes, both of these are blank, so I'm going to say no. There's just a hovering flame in the middle of the room. So we're going to go ahead and explore. Which way do you think we should go? 1 to 3, we'll go north. Nope, we're going to go south. And we're going to come down here and listen at this door. We do hear something, so we will be prepared. They will test the door carefully. It is jammed, and so our friends Lorgar and Dotraf together are going to try to bash the door open. They need a 1, 2, or 3. They get a 3. The door is bashed open, and what's on the other side? 31. All right, we have a room like this. Now, one of the rules for Against Darkness is that if the room doesn't match your dungeon area, you just go ahead and rotate it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to kind of flip this around, and this will be the entryway, and then we'll have the room there. So we're going to draw the room like so. And they rush into the room. Let's see what our contents are. 6. Once again, we have more vermin. A 3. 2d6 goblin swarmlings. Now they're going to be surprised. On a 1, they're going to flee. On a 2 to a 3, they'll flee if they're outnumbered. On a 4, they'll demand a bribe. And on a 5 to 6, they'll fight. So let's see how many there are. There are 12 of them. Yikes. Room number 2. 12 goblin swarmlings. And on a 2 to a 3, they will flee if they're outnumbered. They are not outnumbered. Let's roll again. And it's a 1. They're going to go ahead and flee. So the goblin swarmlings are going to go out this door, and because they're monsters, the door will open automatically for them. So the goblin swarmlings will flee. Their treasure table is -1. So let's flip over to the treasure table. And roll a d6 minus 1. What are they leaving behind? Nothing. 1 minus 1 is 0. So there is no treasure left behind. And let's check our dungeon dressing. Black and blue, we have 65. There are ritual marks. All right, so black, blue, red, black. 1 and 6. There's mold. And then blue and red, 5 and 1. There is a talking corpse. All right, so the talking corpse. Well, what is it going to say? Well, let's roll our augury dice and let's find out what it's going to talk about. First of all, let's see here. What kind of question should we ask? Will the talking corpse speak plainly? If we get a yes, it'll speak plainly. If we get a no, it'll speak in riddles. Wow, it's going to speak in riddles. Okay. So Morpan is going to ask the corpse if it knows the location of the magic scrolls that he's looking for. We got 2 blanks, a no, and a sun with an I, which is supposed to be our very good. So it's going to tell a riddle, a cryptic riddle. That Morpan is going to take as a sign that the scrolls are not to be found further down this path. So Morpan is going to lead the group back into this room, back up here, and check this door. So let's listen at the door. Do we hear anything? Yes, we do. There's something on the other side, so they're ready for it. The door is wide open. They're going to bust the door open, and that's a 16. 16 is, you know what, we're going to start with the door and then have a long passageway on the opposite side. Now, whatever's on the other side, they're going to get the jump on. Lorgan and Dotrath have gone through. It's a 5. We're going to roll on the empty. Okay, it's empty, and we're going to roll D6 on special features. Special features. That's cool. Where's our special features? Here we go. All right. Special features, D6. Let's roll a blue one. A 6. Ooh, we have a puzzle room. The room contains a puzzle box. Its level is D6. Level 4 puzzle box. You may leave it alone or try to solve it. For each failed attempt, the character trying to solve it loses 1 life. Wizards and rogues add their level to their puzzle-solving roll. If the puzzle is solved, the box opens. Make a treasure roll to determine its contents. Well, Morpan is a historian. He counts as a wizard of level 4. So Morpan, who hears the clicking and ticking of this puzzle box, he's going to go ahead and try it. He gets a +4. So he'll definitely be able to do it unless he rolls a 1, which is always a failure. So he is unable to open it, and he's going to lose a life. Brundax, the Mystic, is going to try to open it. He gets a +1, a 6. Brundax is able to open the puzzle box, and now we'll roll on the treasure table. It's a 5. 1 item of jewelry worth 3d6. 10, 100 gold pieces. So we'll convert those to silver pennies, jewelry. All right, very exciting. Now, we are also going to roll. Oh, just, I guess, to be more clear, we also have the treasures that we used in the dungeon board game. We're going to go ahead and draw from these when we roll a 6+ for a random magic item. In which case, the magic items will be one of these 2d6 scrolls, which then will possibly be the magical scroll that Morpan is looking for. We also have d6 alchemical elixirs. We have the Jarum ointment, which restores d6 hit points. A steel dagger, which we'll declare will be magical some way. And then unholy incense. So those will be the magic treasures that we will draw from if needed. So let's go ahead and continue with our dungeon dressing. In addition to the puzzle box, we have dung. Oh boy. Then we have red and black. 4-1. That is more dung. And then we have blue, red, 1-4, which is crystals. So we have crystals growing from the dung. All right, let's go ahead. Let's roll a die and find out, are these crystals magical? And if so, is it a boon or a curse? They are not magical. However, they are a curse of some sort. However, it's a minor curse. And so Morpan is going to take the crystals, which I'm going to write here. And the curse will be discovered later. All right, so now we're going to make our way down the hallway. Let's roll for a random encounter. Nope. And then let's roll to see what the next room is. 51. All right, so the hallway splits. We're going to put a door here. And then that door is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For this door. So this. We're going to check that door. It is open. They're going to open that door, and in the corridor beyond, 8, it's empty. It says we can search. Everyone's going to search on. And a sun, somebody will find something. No ones, no suns. No one finds anything. All right. So, which door shall we go to? Well, let's go listen at this door first of all. Listen here. And we hear something. And then this door, let's listen. We don't hear anything. All right, you know what? Let's go through this door and see what's going to happen. The door is jammed. Once again, Lorgan and Dotrath will try to open it. They are not able to open it. They need a 1, 2, or 3. There we go. On the second round, they get it open. And once again, we a long tunnel, and a room with a door. Now we don't have room to make that fit here. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn this 90 degrees, and so we're going to make that path. Put the door here, and the room like so. Now they didn't hear anything, so let's see if there's anything in the room. That's a 9. It's empty, and they may search it. All right, we have a 1, but it's blank, so they don't find anything in the room. And just we have one more dung. And then red, black, 51. Another talking corpse. They're going to that. We're gonna this table 10. They're gonna find a tunic left behind, and then we have black, blue, red, black, blue. Okay, so that oil is a repeat. So now we're going to roll on this furniture table. Actually, no, we'll roll on the mundane items. 3 is a bottle or a jug. All right, so we'll start with the bottle. Is there anything in that bottle? And if so, is it good or bad? No, nothing in the bottle. All right. Let us listen at the door. We definitely hear something, and it may or may not be good. So let's go ahead and check the door. It is locked. So once again, we need a 5. We're going to need to 6. Lorgan and Dotrath are going to hack the door down, so they need to open it on a 5 or 6. They get a 5. They're able to chop the door down. And what's on the other side? 64. Another room. We'll roll for it. Whoops. And Glordal. You know what? We're gonna say that this doorway here, archway, is glowing. and black and black and black and black black. There's and then 4 and 1 is again more dung. What is leaving this dung? Great question. All right. The glowing portal. What should we do about the glowing portal? How are we doing for time here? 36. All right. We have a glowing portal. All right. First of all, let's roll our augury dice. And let's do this. We're going to roll the augury dice. And instead of rolling for suns or skulls, we're going to roll the hazard die. And let's see what that comes up with. So if we get a yes, the hazard will allow us to pass, but something will happen. If we get a no, when we go through the door, something bad will happen. We'll have to make a saving throw. Of some kind. So let's see what we get. We have a yes and the harp, which is an illusion. So there's an illusion. The glowing portal causes an... All right. Is that going to be good or bad? It's going to be neutral. So it causes an illusion. So there's no passageway here. It just ends. So they're going to have to go back and retrace their steps back to room 4 or corridor 4. And they listened at this door previously and they heard something. Let's listen again. They don't hear anything. That it is stuck. You can open it on a 1, 2, or 3. Dotrath and Lorgan bash through the door. And what do we have? 65 Okay. So this is where we are. Let's check for contents. Six is the referee's house. On 1, they route through They outnumber dot wrath go first. And Brundax and are behind them. I'm gonna have to definitely do some editing. I think I want to try to zoom in and out, so we'll see if we can do that. So no one is surprised. That's a good dice. Anyway. Okay. Lorgan +1 attack roll. Hobgoblins are level 4, so he'll hit on a 3. He hits. That's 6. That's going to take one out. Now, these are simultaneous, so we'll keep that in mind. Dot Wrath has +1 attack. Hobgoblins will fight back. The red one is striking at Lorgan. That's a 3. Lorgan has +2 defense. That's a 5. That's more than 4, so he's not going to be injured. Dotraff has +1 defense. That's a 4. Bumps that up to a 5. She's not going to be injured. So this is a casualty. This hobgoblin's going to move forward, and we'll continue the attack. So first of all, Lorgan gets a 4. That's going to be enough to kill this guy. Again, simultaneous. Dotraff rolls a 6. That's going to be enough to kill this guy. Fight back. Lorgan has a 6. Not injured. Dotraff has a 3. Dotraff is going to take an injury. Take a wound. Lose a life. And that's going to go away. Now, we have lost 50%. So we're going to roll for morale. They will flee on a 1 to 3. It's a 6. They're going to continue fighting. So they'll move up. The hobgoblins will attack. Lorgan has a 7. Dotraff has a 7. So that's going to be enough to kill these two. I'm sorry, I'm doing this backwards. So they'll get to attack back. The red die will be Lorgan. That's a 5 that goes up to a 7. He's able to kill that one. Or not take a wound, I'm sorry. And then +1 defense is a 4. Dotraff is going to lose another life. So they'll go back there. And now they're going to take a morale check again. And they're going to stay. This last guy is going to come fight. 1, 2, 3 against Lorgan. Yep. All right. So he's going to fight Lorgan. Lorgan hits with a 5. That's going to take him out. He defends with a 6. Does not take a wound. So that's going to take out all the hobgoblins. They pass their morale check. Are defeated. And hobgoblins have treasure +1. So we'll go to the treasure table. There we go. And a six. Plus one is a. Go ahead and draw and shuffle these up a little bit. All right. Just to be on the side, we're gonna take card number 6. 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's back to the first one again. 6. A steel dagger. A steel dagger. Morpan is going to take that dagger. That will give him a +1 and counter the -1. So he'll have a 0 combat modifier. We'll put away the battle board. And make our way down to this door. Let's listen at the door. We do hear something. All right. Doctor. Now, bash through the door. And what's on the other side? 64. Once again, we get this crazy symbol. All right, so we're going to hear. All right, we've had that result 3 times. That's kind of funny. What are the room contents? 3. 6 on the traps table. Uh-oh. We'll hit the character leading the marching order. All right, it's gonna be Lord always through first. Bear trap is a level 4. Will he be able to avoid it? He needs to roll a 5+. He's got a +2. That's a 7, so he's able to avoid the bear trap. All right. So now we're going to roll on the hazard table and see what else may be in this. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. We're going to roll on our dungeon dressing. Black and blue, 3 and 6. There are lamps. Five and 3. More singing flies. And then blue and red, 6 and 5 more. Ritual marks, lamps. Okay, so Morpan is going to light the lamps. And then he and Brundax are going to attempt to decipher the ritual marks. The blue die will be Brundax, B for blue, and the black die will be Morpan. Brundax will add his intelligence, which is 2. Morpan will add his intelligence, which is 3. And let's see what level these marks are. They're level 6. Ugh. Well, let's see. We got to beat a 6. Well, we have 5 and a 6. So they are able to decipher the runes. Do the runes lead to the magic scrolls? Yes. Yes, they do. We got 2 yeses here. However, we have 1 bad result. All right. We're going to say the magic scrolls they're looking for are D3 rooms away with a hazard die. 3 rooms away with the working, but they have an advantage. Okay. So it's within the next 3 rooms. We'll find the scrolls. So what that means is in each of the next rooms, we're going to roll a d6. On a 1 or a 2, it's in the first room. On a 1, 2, 3, or 4, it's in the second room. And if it's not there, then it will be in the third room. So let us check the door. It is jammed. Let's listen. We do hear something. Lorgan and Dotraff are going to bash the door down. No! No, 2 turns. 1 more time. Yes. Takes 3 times. Door is jammed. 3 times to open. On the far side, we have 42. Just a corridor. And we're going to say this corridor goes down around this illusionary place. I'm going to change it up so we don't go off the map. Corridor contents, 6 vermin. D6 on the vermin table. It's a 4. D6 giant centipedes. 4 giant centipedes. Now, if we win, we're going to roll a d6 on the treasure table. So there may be treasure. We'll make a note of that. Giant centipedes are level 3. They have no treasure. You must save versus a level 2 poison or lose a life, an extra life. And there's 4 of them, so they're not outnumbered, but they are matched. So this is what we're going to do. On a 1, 2, or 3, they're going to flee. On a 4, 5, or 6, they're going to stay and fight. All right, so the centipedes are going to fight. And simultaneous. So red die is Lorgan. He has a 5. Dotraff has a 5. That's going to kill 2 centipedes. They will attack back. The red die is for Lorgan. That's a 6, no damage, and a 5, no damage. So 2 centipedes are going to die, and then they're going to check morale. They are going to flee. So these last 2 centipedes take off. We're going to count that as a win, and we're going to roll a d6 on the treasure table. A 4. 1 gem is found on the floor worth 2d6 times 5 gold pieces. That's 7 times 5, 35 gold piece gem. All right. So that is our first spot. But that's a corridor and not a room. So we're just going to go around the corner and see what's next. 64. Oh boy. Okay, so there's our room. What are the room contents? 12. A dragon lair. Oh boy, roll on the boss table. Okay. If we win, we're going to roll d6 for a level up and plus d6 on the treasure table. All right, so this is a dragon's lair. This isn't the boss table. This is specifically a dragon's lair. So, 10. Dragon's lair. Let's see what happens. It's level 6. It's got 5 life points and 2 attacks. We'll do 3 treasure rolls at +1. Each turn of the dragon, roll a d6 to determine what it does. On a 1 or a 2, it will breathe fire, inflicting 1 life to all characters who fail to save versus level 6 dragon breath. Each character adds half of their level, rounded down. On a 3 to 6, the dragon does not breathe and will bite 2 random characters instead. Small dragons are never met as random monsters. And then the reaction is 1, sleeping, 2 to 3, bribe, 4 to 5, fight, 6, quest. So, let's roll for that. And because I happen to have a little dragon handy, I'm going to grab that. Hang on. All right, so we have a dragon model. And I'm going to go ahead and zoom in here so we can see this battle. All right. Let us see what happens. First of all, we're going to roll for the status of the dragon. It's a 5. It's going to fight. All right. So, Morpan has magic spells. Brundax has magic spells. Brundax has the Pact of Destruction. All right, he's got Vision of Transience, which he can cast, which will shatter or disintegrate 1 non-magical item within missile range, no larger than a jug of wine or a length of rope, or cause d6 damage to 1 individual within missile range. So he can use that spell to do d6 damage to the dragon, because he's got intelligence too. He can also do Way of the Sundering Fist. Unarmed blows roll damage at advantage, except he's not unarmed, so he's gonna cast his spell. Morpan has the Pact of Illumination. He's level 4, intelligence 3, and for 1 day he's going to gain advantage on all attack and dodge rolls. So he's going to cast Ecstatic Meditation on Death and gain advantage on his attack and dodge rolls. So that's what we're going to do first, and then we'll do our combat. So let's go ahead and Brundax will cast a spell. We'll do d6 damage. It's level 6. We have to roll a 6 in order to do enough life points to take or to do enough damage to take a life point. That's a 2. That's not going to cut it. All right, that's not good. All right, well, we try. We can cast it again. Actually, you know what? I should have rolled. I'm sorry. I'm supposed to roll on the spellcasting table, aren't I? All right. So we're going to add 2 for his intelligence. Casting is a base 8 difficulty. And that's an 8. Plus 2 for his intelligence is a 10. So it does go off, causes 2 damage. That's not going to be enough. You know what? We're going to put a 2 on there. Because maybe these fellas will be able to do enough damage that they can take off an extra life. All right, so this turn, Lorgan, +1 attack. That's a 4. He needs a 6. Not going to do it. Dotrath has a 4 -1. That's a 3. Not going to do it. And the dragon rolls a d6. It's a 1. It's going to breathe fire. Everybody needs to roll a dodge of... Okay, so we missed a turn due to running out of memory. But Brundax is down. He's taken 3 life hits. Lorgan has taken 2. Dotrath has taken 3. Morpan has taken 4. The dragon has taken 3. And we're at the beginning of, once again, the next turn. We're going to roll for the dragon to see if it's going to breathe or fight. He's going to breathe again. So now we need to save versus level 6. Lorgan needs a 4. No. Dotrath needs a 5. Yes. Morpan needs a 6. No. And now we're going to fight back. Lorgan will... Lorgan needs a 5 to hit. Yes, that's a hit. He'll do 1 more damage to the dragon. That is 4. The dragon has 1 life point left. Dotrath needs a 5. Needs a 6. Dotrath needs a 6. And that is going to be it. That will kill the dragon. So, the dragon has been defeated. Oh my goodness gracious. Brundax is down. Now, we do have, where is it? We do have the alchemical, we do have 2 bottles of alchemical elixirs that can be used to heal D6 wounds. So, Morpan has 1 life left. Brundax is at 0. We're going to give 1 to Brundax. That'll bring him back 3. He's back up to full strength. But he's going to need to rest for a turn. Morpan takes the other one. He's only going to get 1 back. Oh boy, oh boy. 3 treasure rolls at +1. Now, since this is the end, we're going to go ahead and pull one of those treasures as the magic scrolls. And one of those scrolls is the magic spell that Morpan is looking for. So that's where we are with that. So we have 2d6 scrolls. We have 4 scrolls. 4 scrolls. 3 are random. And we'll roll for those after this. All right. So let's go to the treasure table. D6 +1, 2 rolls, a 3 and a 5. So we have a scroll with a random spell. And that's our 3. And then we have a 5. One item of jewelry worth 3d6 times 10. 120 silver pennies jewelry. Okay. Now, the scroll spells, we're going to sit on that because I want to figure out what the best way is. We're going to be adding magic spells to this. And I think one of the fun ways to add magic, which is one of the cool things about when they talk about Dungeons and Dragons, you're supposed to find new spells that way. So let's go ahead and randomly determine our spell before we try to leave. All right, random spells right here. Okay. So we have choices between Blessing, Fireball, Lightning Bolt, Sleep, Escape, and Protect. 3 Lightning Bolts. Nice. And then any wizard / mystic can use that particular spell. So Morpan is very excited. He's got 2 life left, and we need to get out of the dungeon. So I'm going to put the battle board away. And we're going to head back out. Now, each time we go through a door, we're going to roll for random encounters. On a 6, we're going to have a random encounter. So let's see what happens. We don't have one there. And we have one here. Random encounter. Let's see what we've got. Something is eating. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. On a 1 to 4, it's a vermin. A 5 or 6 is a minion. Vermin table 2, 3d6 vampire bats. Oh, laws. So exit at 7. We have 7 vampire bats. And they're eating. They're going to get a reaction. 1 to 3 flee. They're going to flee. Okay. Well, that's good. All right. So we're going to go through this door. No. We're going to go through this door. All right. We have another random encounter. And a 3 is a vermin. 5 d6 vampire frogs. 6 vampire frogs. Oh my goodness. What are they going to do? Exit 3. 6 vampire frogs. A 3. They're going to fight. All right. Well, where's our magic spells here? Let's see what happens if we cast that fireball or lightning bolts. Against a group of minions, the spell will kill just 1. Against the boss, it inflicts 2 hit points. Against vermin, we're going to say against vermin, it'll take them all out. It's an action equivalent to attacking during combat. We're going to let him add his intelligence to the roll. Well, just don't roll a 1. Okay. So that'll blast the vampire frogs. Lightning bolts. So that'll take that out. All right. Come through this door. No. And back into this room. And they're going to head back out. No encounters there. we're coming up into the main room. Let's roll for a random encounter there. Nope. And they're able to get out. All right. So they have been able to exfiltrate the dungeon and return to their camp. So we have Brundax, Lorgan, Dotraf, and Morpan, who've all returned. And it's going to take 4 days for everyone to fully heal. Brundax is back to full life because of the elixir. Lorgan has 3 days. Dotraf has 3 days. Morpan has 4 days. So let's go ahead and make some notes on that. This is our paper. All right, so we exit. We're going to rest for 4 days. Let's zoom back out here so you can see what I'm doing. All right, we're going to rest for 4 days. And then they're going to make their way back home along the path they came in. Now, each of these is a 1 mile hex. And we are going to check for encounters once per 5 mile hex. So within this hex, we're going to check for a random encounter here, somewhere along here. We do not have one. They make their way down to this gully, follow their way through the gully, across the streams, and into this main hex, because they're heading back over here to meet up with their men-at-arms. Okay, they're able to get through all the way back, get their canoes, meet up with their men-at-arms, and then they'll be able to return home to High Fork. And this, as I mentioned, this is a 25-mile hex. Each of these are 5-mile hexes, so we'll have 2 more encounters. However, it's only 1 day to get back. It's only 1 day to get back. So we have 2 chances for encounters. We do not have any encounters, and they're able to return to High Fork safely. And they have recovered the magic items that they wanted. They have got some additional goodies and plenty of gold. So let's go ahead and we're going to give everyone 1 experience point, which is the Kal Arath standard for each adventure. Now, what we're going to do, though, is we're going to give everybody 2 experience. Well, no, that's not what we're going to do. We're going to do it this way. Lorgan is going to get 2 experience points. So he'll be at 2.5. Dotraf is going to get 2 experience points. So she'll be at 2.5. Brundax is going to get 1 experience point. So he'll be at 1.5 because he went down to 0 life and had to get healed. So he has to suffer for that. And then Morpan will gain 2 experience points on top of whatever he had. So now Morpan is going to retire to his tower. And Brundax, Lorgan, and Dotraf, as well as our 2 Duddy men-at-arms, are going to prepare. They're going to rest up for a couple days, and then they're going to prepare to to resume the quest for Brundax, who needs to travel over here to the Troll Fens in order to get the map that shows him where the Lost Temple is for the Pact of Destruction, so that he can go and meditate in the presence of his patron. So that's where we stand. This will be the end of our adventure and the end of our video. Thank you very much for watching. I know this has been a long one, and that was kind of, it may have been kind of arduous with all the rolling and determining the dungeon dressing and what have you. But I don't know, I had a lot of fun. So I hope you did too. Please go ahead and leave any comments you might have down below. Be sure and hit like and subscribe. And as always, keep on gaming.